For Robertson.
The future of higher education, Mr Deputy Speaker, is certainly a matter of public importance, and it certainly deserves to be debated here today. But it's just simply absurd to suggest, as members opposite today have done, that we as a government are somehow undermining higher education when, on the contrary, we are setting it up for success. So it's even more outrageous that members opposite would make these claims, flanked either side by their own scare campaigns and their misinformation. Mr Deputy Speaker, I'm proud to say that I support this government's proposed reforms, including our amendments in the Senate this week, and I'll fight alongside my colleagues, including the Minister for Education, for as long as we need to see our reforms become a reality, because they will help to secure a stronger and better future for our next generation. These reforms have got enormous benefits for students. You just have to ask any of the higher education peak bodies. All of them support the reforms with the amendments. Yet despite this, the Labor Party is threatening to tear down a stronger future for higher education students of all ages and all backgrounds, and even school students who may dream one day of a world-class education, not in London or New York, but right here in Australia, in Sydney, in Melbourne, in Perth, and dare I say, even in areas in regional Australia, particularly the Central Coast of New South Wales. My drive and my passion to see these reforms succeed, Mr Deputy Speaker, come from my own experience growing up as a teenager on the Central Coast around 25 years ago, although perhaps I shouldn't admit that. I could study a Bachelor of Arts at many universities around Australia, but, Mr Deputy Speaker, I couldn't choose to study locally at my local university because the choice simply wasn't available. And 25 years later, this issue of choice is still a reality for more than 4,600 students who still leave the Central Coast daily to Sydney to commute to their chosen metropolitan university, and there are also about 3,000 who leave to attend a technical institution. These reforms will free up the university sector and will mean that the reality of tertiary educational opportunities for people in my electorate of Robertson today may not remain the reality for people in my electorate tomorrow. Mr Deputy Speaker, we know that higher education study leads to more opportunities, higher wages, pathways for further education and career, and genuine aspirations. We know that university graduates earn on average 75% more over their lifetime than non-graduates, and typically earn around $1 million more over their working lives. And further educational opportunities are also made possible by encouraging pathway programs like those from the University of Newcastle, who have got a Central Coast campus not far from my own electorate at Ourimbah. More than 900 students were enrolled in the Pathways program in 2013, and 40% of these were from low socioeconomic backgrounds, and over half were mature-age students. Directly as a result of these reform proposals, Mr Deputy Speaker, I've had the privilege to be able to work closely over the last 6 to 8 months or so on a shared dream in my electorate to see a university campus in Gosford. We've worked with the world-class University of Newcastle, the Central Coast Area Health Service and Gosford City Council, and recently I've been lobbying the New South Wales Government for capital infrastructure funding. As a result of this collaboration, made possible because of, not in spite of these reforms, we've developed now plans for a globally connected, fully integrated Central Coast Health and Medical Research Institute. And because of these conversations made possible by this government's reforms, we've been presented with a unique opportunity to deliver a shared vision of a centre of excellence in tertiary education right in the heart of a city that definitely needs rejuvenating. It's a plan that would help tackle emerging health issues on the Central Coast, as well as attract high-quality students, clinicians, researchers and healthcare professionals to Gosford. It's got the potential to become a base for world-class healthcare and medical research and education to help deliver real hope, real aspiration, growth and opportunity, and there's no reason why Gosford can't one day enjoy a world-class education in Gosford students in medicine or medical research if these reforms could pass. Mr Deputy Speaker, may I conclude by just saying, aren't these the sorts of conversations we ought to be having instead of this matter of public importance? Instead of denying the need of reform, shouldn't we be unlocking the potential for world-class higher education in regions like the Central Coast, considered by some to be regions of disadvantage today, but thanks to the opportunities made possible by these deregulation reforms, potentially become a region of advantage in the future? Today, let it be known to the House, Mr Deputy Speaker, how these reforms can transform an area like the Central Coast.
Order. The discussion has